Yo, what's up, YouTube? This is your boy Alex. I'm back with a YouTube video. Alright, I want to say thank you to the black women that said thank you to me on Tuesday. As you did know, I told some people that my birthday was on January 19th. And I want to say thank you to those black women. Had lunch earlier. I want to say thank you to them because, excuse me, burping here. It's also part of my medicine until I get checked again on Monday. Say thank you because that was a lot of support. And give me until Sunday to make a video that's going to be basically about black men and black women's great inventions. I'm still working on that script. Don't think I forgot, because I have not forgot. I haven't got around to it because I'm still going back and forth to Kaiser for treatments. It's not going to be easy to just, walk in and out and you're fixed. It's a process. It's a step-by-step process. I feel better today than I felt 4 days ago. Yesterday and today I feel very good because I'm taking the medicine. But I still got to come back on Monday to get my my results on what's going on with my digestive system. It's almost fixed, but the old word, almost ain't good enough. So, got to keep taking the medicine until they see what's going on. But you're still going to get YouTube videos, so don't think it's the end of the world because you ain't been getting videos like you think you have. It's just, I'm trying to get my body right, and once I get my body right, it's game on. Alright, the title of this YouTube video is called Sex Game, Twilight versus Hunger Games, Books, Film, So What's Better? Now, this is a topic that I wanted to talk about. I talked about it a lot last year, but I never really had a chance to go deep into this subject. When I was in college, there was a lot of talk. Which movie franchise, which books was better? Twilight, Hunger Games. Of course, there's Diversion. But we're going to go with Hunger Games, and we're going to go with Twilight. Now, Twilight was a big phenomenon. We all know what Twilight is. Vampires, werewolves, witches, realms of the supernatural, good versus bad, right versus wrong. There's love in, and most stories it would not be completed if there were not no romance in it. And it was solidified. You had Edward, you had Bella, and that was kind of like our version of Romeo and Juliet. Now, I did see all the Twilight movies. I saw the first one. I always thought the second one was better than the first film. Then there was Twilight 3. And then they broke the fourth film into a part to get 5 films. So they broke the last part to make it 5. So you end up with 5 films, even though there's like 4 books. And why is it kept closed? They actually could have made a Twilight. They could have made a 5th film because of the way that the last one ended. Like, if you think about it, Edward and Bella have a daughter. You could have went 50 or 60 years into the timeline and made another film. So it could have kept going with this franchise. And we all know the actors and actresses that have played this character. Robert Pattinson have played Edward. Luther Taylor played Jacob. And Christy Dunst, not Christy Dunst, but the other Christy played Bella. And that was a phenomenon. And every time I try to go see a Twilight movie, you guessed it, 99.99% of the time, the movie was sold out. I couldn't see the movie in the daytime. I actually had to see the movie in the daytime. And it was actually the first time in history that I actually saw a movie that was sold out that if I wanted to see it at nighttime, I had to actually see it in the daytime, which was kind of funny to me. It was hilarious that actually happened. But I got to see the big deal. People had the t-shirts, the action figures, the posters. People was getting autograph signs. People was just blown away by this incredible experience of Twilight. Like, so much that people were shocked that this was a big phenomenon. And this launched the actors and actresses whose careers were in Twilight to bigger and better projects later down the road. For the actress who played Bella, she was in Snow White and the Huntsman. She got to be in that first film. And then later Charlie Angels. So she got to be in multiple films. As for Robert Pattinson, he got to be in these other types of films. He got to be in Film The Wars, where he got to play different characters, and now he's playing one of the biggest icon characters in DC comic movie cinema history, Batman. He did the movie called The Tenet, now Batman. So you see it, you see what he done for his career. And, then all the other actors in between got into television, theater. A lot of them got nominated for Oscars, Academy Awards, Golden Globes, all because they did a thing called Twilight. We all know it came from a book. And, I remember when I was in college taking an English class, somebody was reading the book Twilight. And then, I went to the library and saw the book, and I was curious about the book, but I would never read the book until after I saw the first movie. And it was like, man, you gotta read the book first before you just watch the movie. And it always come up in the nerd geek fandom, which is better, the movies or the book. And 90% of the time, you always hear people say the books are much better than the films. You got some people that will always say it's the movies over the books, whatever the case may be. You always get that. On the other hand, we got Hunger Games with Jennifer Lawrence, Lane's Hinesworth, Lenny Kravitz was in that movie. His daughter was in that movie. A lot of big names, Donald Sutherland, Keith Sutherland's father was in that movie as the main villain. And it kind of was like a nice big take into the near future of what our society could possibly end up looking like if we're not too careful. That concept of good versus bad, the rich and the poor type of situation. Excuse me. And you saw that it got four films, four books, and it became the second franchise to become super popular. Of course, I didn't understand the first movie. I had to watch the first Hunger Games like four times to understand the story. Jennifer Lawrence played Katniss, and Katniss was a very interesting character. Now, a lot of people have always asked which female character was better. To me, I would say Bella had probably the better franchise because Twilight fanfare lasted for about a very good 4.5 to maybe 5 years of its popularity. It lasted that long. Why Hunger Games, we weren't sure about the first film. It wasn't until the second film that everyone was on board with Hunger Games. People complained that the second one didn't have as much action as the first one. Hunger Games 3 made up for that. Hunger Games 4 was to finish it, and people still waiting for the Hunger Games prequel, so Hunger Games can kind of come back. To me, I pretty much believe that we see a system, where we see something happen with these movies. And again, it launched Jennifer Lawrence's career. Jennifer Lawrence's career was launched into being in multiple franchises, Hunger Games and X-Men at the same exact time. Made her into a triple threat in Hollywood. Became one of the best actresses to be a part of two franchises. The actress who played Bella was a part of two franchises. And you look at Lane's Hinesworth, it boosted his career because after that he started getting to other movies, other television shows. Everyone's had critical success with these franchises. Now let's talk about the books. Now the Hunger Games movies get real close to the real interpretation of the books. Whereas if we look at Twilight, they kind of had to, go a shortcut route, rewrite some stuff out, change some stuff up. The stuff that we thought was going to be in the book, they couldn't put that in the movie. It wasn't until the second or third or maybe fourth film that they started going off the book's interpretation with Twilight. With Hunger Games, it was the first two films of Hunger Games that they would give you half and half. Like half of it was from the book, half of it was adapted from the book. And then it wasn't until the final installment that they finally just said, all right, try to give more of what's from the book to the audience. And it pretty worked very, very goodly. Now, do I believe this movie will be the best centerfold? I would probably say only time will tell. Now, could you reboot Twilight and Hunger Games today? And the answer is
I think you could. Here's the thing: with Hunger Games, you can actually continue it. You can come back and give it another 3 films, and people will watch that franchise. With Twilight, you could do a continuation, or you might wait another 4 years, and then you reboot Twilight and based off the book interpretation. At this point, you can make that into a television show, and people will watch it. People who are diehard fans of Twilight will most definitely watch Twilight. Hunger Games, on the other hand, you could just turn that into an original television series and play it into different content. Like, what if there's another character like Cadmus that had the same problem, but it was from 5 or 10 years earlier. Or you could get creative and go, okay, it's 10 or 20 years after the events of the 4 films, and basically make it where she has a daughter or a granddaughter, and the same thing repeats itself. And there's someone from those films to kind of help mentor on what she would have to face, just like Cadmus did. So there's opportunities with these 2 franchises. These were the biggest and the best franchises. Diversion, on the other hand, because people might say, "How come you didn't put Diversion in here?" For Diversion, I've seen the first film, I've seen the second film of Diversion, but what if this video is very well received, which it probably will be, I probably come back with another one later in the week or weekend and call it what was better, Diversion or The Maze, because there was like at least 2 films of The Maze, but there's like 4 books, but we only got like 2 or 3 films of The Maze Runner, and those were some good movies too. But a lot of these books were getting made into movies, and they were all trying to copycat Twilight and Hunger Games. And people can tell when you try to copycat these 2 franchises. These franchises made it possible for Maze Runner, for Diversion, Vampire Academy, and let's not forget The Kingsman, because that was a book too. So if it weren't for Twilight and if it weren't for Hunger Games, you probably would not even get these. You probably won't even get these. You probably won't even get these franchises. So pretty much, this was a very interesting video. I wanted to give you my thoughts, and like I said, I want to say thank you to the black women who said thank you to me on Tuesday, because Tuesday was my birthday, and somewhere on the weekend I will give you that type of video. I will find a video that celebrates black women and black men's accomplishments, and then I will have another video later, like on a Tuesday or on a Wednesday, that'll be about the best inventions that we created as African Americans. Why not on Monday? Because Monday is when I get checked back into the ER for a status. The doctor wants me to always give him a status update on my iron levels and what be going on with my digestive system, because at any given time they might say you need to come in right away and things of that nature. So you're going to continue to get the best content, and once I'm back to 100%, it's game on. Until next time, peace.